So how many of you have been watching and waiting for new photographs from the Bell telescope? Oh, I've been mesmerized by them. Galaxies, cosmic cliffs, black holes. And it's just the beginning, folks. Each galaxy is comprised of approximately at least 100 billion stars. Those 5 galaxies that we can see are just part of what we know our local cluster of galaxies to be 19 of them, which is in turn part of a super galaxy cluster. Thousands of galaxies, each one of them with at least 100 billion stars. Beyond our supercluster of galaxies, our supercluster of galaxies, astronomers estimate that there are around 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe, each one containing at least 100 billion. Now scientists are asking, that's not enough? If this is a unified system, could all of this in the observable universe be but a single cell within a much larger creation? How many of you read A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy some 30-odd years ago? I've lost that page. Here we are. Do you remember the total perspective vortex? In the book Hitchhiker's Guide, Doug Adams wrote about this total perspective vortex machine. It was built for a good reason. It was created by Tragula as a way to get back at his wife. She was always telling him to get a sense of proportion because he was staring at the stars and goofing around and amazed at the function of a safety pin. Get a sense of perspective, she kept saying to him. Get a sense of proportion. There are more important things to do. So he created the vortex. The vortex is a chamber. The person is placed into this relatively small chamber, which projected a model, an actual model of the entire universe, together with a microscopic dot on a microscopic dot, and the sign that says, "You are here." Well, he discovered quickly that it was a dangerous machine. Her mind was fried, totally gone. And so, of course, a planet took it and made it their ultimate torture chamber, and nobody who went in ever came out. with a mind again. Tran was actually quite pleased because he had proven his point that if life was going to live in such a vast universe, one thing it could not afford to have was a sense of perspective. Well, I kind of feel like the whole world now has been put into the total perspective vortex. It's got to change us, folks. I can't fathom it. No. It's way beyond my imaginative abilities. And whether or not I did comprehend it, science is proving that's not all. It's forever changing. 50 years ago, the chemist James Lovelock and microbiologist Lynn Margulis proposed the Gaia theory. You're all familiar with that? That the Earth is a living organism, an entity, that the inorganic and the organic compounds and surroundings on Earth are forming a synergistic, self-regulating, complex system that perpetuates and maintains the conditions for life. Well, the Gaia hypothesis was initially met with derision. It was strongly criticized, but in recent years, with the climate emergencies, more and more scientists are coming around. And the Gaia theory is quite widely accepted. But still, there are scientists, many scientists today, who don't feel that the theory is supported sufficiently by current evidence. So I expect that there's going to be even stronger resistance to the growing understanding of a living universe. Living planet was a problem. Well, theologians didn't like us anthropomorphizing the planet, putting ourselves into it, making it think like us. Well, Bonnie Thiessen isn't here today. I shout out, is she? Oh, a shout out to Bonnie with a great big thank you. She introduced me to Dwayne Elgin and his wonderful essay, We Live in a Living Universe. He writes about the emerging shift in our consciousness. In our shared, this is him, in our shared view of the universe, we're shifting from thinking of it as dead to experiencing it as alive. And regarding the universe as alive and ourselves as continuously sustained within that aliveness, we see that we are intimately related to all that exists. This is a startling insight. We are cousins to everything that exists in a living, continuously regenerative universe. Does that not overcome the profound separation that has marked our lives? From the combined wisdom of science and spirituality is emerging an understanding that could provide the perceptual foundation for the diverse peoples of this world to come together in the shared enterprise of building a sustainable and a meaningful future. Wow. In this new understanding of the universe, there is no such thing as empty space. All of space is full of immense amounts of background energy. And when I say immense amounts, one astrophysicist has estimated that 1 cubic centimeter of deep space contains the energy of at least 50 atomic bombs. You see, creation didn't end with the Big Bang billions of years ago. Rather, it's continuously being created. Mathematician Norbert Wiener says, we're not stuff that abides, we're patterns that perpetuate themselves. Whirlpools of water in an ever-flowing river. Whirling, growing, subsiding, dying, being born and being reborn again and again. Some cosmologists and astrophysicists are positing, this one really gets me, that black holes may actually be birth canals leading to other universes. Billions of them, all creating, recreating, connecting, processing. Oh my. Our Unitarian Universalist minister in the UU Church of Rockford, Illinois, has been senior minister there since 2008. Wrote a paper 2 years ago after his fall sabbatical. He writes, 15 billion years ago, a great deal of energy flowed outward from a single point. Waves of energy spread out at enormous speeds, and as that field of energy slowed, it became matter. However, let us not forget that at the subatomic level, all is still energy, vibrating, uncertain, connected to the rest of the energy by means that we can observe. We just can't yet understand it. Clusters of matter attract other matter, and the energy began to organize. All of the particles in the wave energy of the universe is conscious. Conscious. This consciousness communicates with itself through fields of energy, and it's created by all things, sustains itself. And this consciousness is nothing new. Some Hindus call it Brahman, Taoists call it the Tao. Ancient Greeks called it psychokosmo, or the cosmic mind. Indigenous cultures around the world have myths and rituals and understandings that the great mystery includes all thought and matter, and so everything is sacred. We tend to call it spirit of life, While we will never fully understand or comprehend this cosmic reality, Dwayne Elgin pointed out a number of things that science has taught us and is teaching us so far. One, the cosmos is a unified system. Animate and inanimate matter and energy are inseparably interwoven with whatever the life force is that's permeating this universe. And this includes not just matter, but the energy of seemingly empty space. Second, we know the cosmos is continuously regenerating. Physicist Brian Swimme says, the universe emerges out of an all-nourishing abyss, not only 12 billion years ago, but in every moment. And three, we'll love this one. At its foundation is freedom. Freedom. It's no clockwork, mechanistic universe. There are no predetermined patterns of development. Our universe and everything within it has freedom, has spontaneity to grow in unexpected ways. No one part ever determines the functioning of the whole. Rather, every part, each of us, every part affects every other part, affects the whole. This living universe is a learning system. Yes. It's free to make mistakes with each moment, proving and providing opportunities for a fresh start. Four, consciousness is present throughout. Now, please understand, consciousness is simply the capacity for knowing. That's all it is. Physicist Freeman Dyson writes, matter in quantum mechanics is not an inert substance. Rather, it's an active agent, constantly making choices between alternate possibilities. This is really important because when people talk about a conscious universe, this is where we start to anthropomorphize. This is where people are really anxious to have the great consciousness tell us that everything is predetermined. It's not like that. But number 5, it's looking as if the cosmos is able to reproduce itself. It's still not proven. It was first proposed by astrophysicist John Gribben that the bursting out of our universe in the Big Bang could be the time-reversed image of the collapse of a massive object into a black hole. Instead of a one-way journey to nowhere, many researchers are now believing it's more likely a one-way journey to a new expanding universe with its own set of dimensions. No, we don't understand it all. We probably never will. And some people will, of course, take this new science to prove whatever preconceived beliefs they may have. Ivan Antic's recent book, The Physics of Consciousness, for example, came out last year. He states that consciousness as the foundation for existence, and that consciousness can never arrive from something unconscious. And so clearly, he took a different logic course than I did. So clearly, in the author's view, everything originates from a conscious intent and that this consciousness is the divine particle that exploded into the Big Bang that created the universe. Be certain that many theologians are going to follow suit, conflating consciousness with intent, with a divine plan, with a new understanding of the greatness of God. I guess I really don't care. I mean, we can get fussed, but I don't know what's going on, do you? What I know is that it is wonderful, and we're part of it. Who needs to be in the center of the universe? That's a pretty static place, it feels like to me. I like the dancing. It's marvelous, folks. And it does so much as we're moving into a cosmic theology of the 21st century. Dualism is gone. It's all connected. It's all one. Animate, inanimate. Makes you have to think about mining. Makes you say thank you for every life taken or given. Makes you understand that infinity is in the grain of sand. And the world in a wildflower. It's a marvelous time to be alive. And yes, could be a perpetual vortex machine. But I see it as so fraught with possibility, folks. A Hitchhiker's Guide, one of the big lessons, probably the biggest one, that it tried to teach was, don't panic. Don't panic. Also, improbability exists. Celebrate it when it happens. All things are possible. Some are just less likely. But in this universe, it's not predetermined. There are basic rules. We need to remember always that we search for places of overlapping truths, like a bunch of Venn diagrams. And we're not ever all going to agree on everything, but where does it overlap? Because that's that place where many different perspectives, beliefs, traditions are sharing conclusions. Somewhere in there is a deep truth that we're searching for. And most likely, if we focus our examination there, instead of on whether or not somebody named something divine or God, then we have a possibility of finding deep truth in this concept, this understanding of a living universe. There's hope there, folks. There is hope and there's possibility. And it is so Unitarian Universalist. Can we set aside the pettiness and continue to delve deep in the overlapping areas? Because what we do literally impacts the universe. And so I'm going to continue to zoom in and to zoom out as I can manage the big perspective. Then it's time to look at a safety pin. They are quite amazing, you know. I wonder who invented that. I'm going to go and lie on a rock warmed by the sun in the darkness, watching the stars as they dance and they sing to me. I don't know if you've heard it or not, but they sing. I don't know if I imagine it or not. They sing. They dance, and then come back and love a grandchild. Or perhaps just look out over Clearwater Bay at the green forest and the blue water in absolute wonderment that I am a part of all of this on this insignificant little planet on the far-flung arm of the Milky Way in the unfashionable end of the galaxy, descendant of ape-like creatures who still think digital watches are pretty neat. Isn't it wonderful? Hold the wonder. Spread it, rejoice, and learn. This is a learning universe. Let's go sailing on our blue boat.